Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, 6 days ago, Erastus Edung ETHAKON told us that they received petitions on 4 members of parliament who their constituents want them recalled. Now, recently, again, that was yesterday, KTN published a story whereby in that story, Erastus Edung ETHAKON has now come out clear and said there are 5 members of parliament.
According to insiders within the IEBC commission, the MPs facing recall include Tharaka Nithi Senator Mwenda Gataya Mofaya, Kikuyu MP Kimani Ichung'wah.
I've gone through some of the ways you can actually recall a leader, rather a member of parliament, and from the observation, you cannot recall a member of parliament in the first 1 year, and you cannot recall a member of parliament in the last year. So in the last year, I mean 2026 to 2027 there, let's say 2027 there, you can't recall the member of parliament. Now there's a hitch here, but we want to talk about this matter extensively. Now in this list that Erastus Edung ETHAKON has shared, again, Ichung'wah tops the list. Of course, we have Eric WAMUMBI there, Esther Passaris, These are people who are regarded to have betrayed the Mount Kenya people, and based on, and I'm going to share the story, you get the complete list. Based on the Mount Kenya people, they think that the ones who orchestrated the removal of Rigathi Gachagua. Now, for Esther Passaris, I think the main reason is because of the finance bill. Because you remember last year, when the Azimio were rejecting the finance bill, people like Esther Passaris, signed it, that they really supported it. 2023 the same. So one of the reasons why Esther Passaris is being kicked out is because of the support she had on the finance bill, the 2023 one and the 2024 one. So before we escalate this story further, ladies and gentlemen, kindly take this opportunity, support the work we do on this channel by liking this video, subscribe to our channel if you had not subscribed before, and to our existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support.
Kimani Ichung'wah, MATHIRA MP Eric WAMUMBI, Nairobi Woman Representative Esther Passaris, as well as North Imminent MP Rahim Daud. According to Article 104 of the Constitution, voters have a right to recall their legislators before the end of a term.
Now, Erastus Edung ETHAKON is finding it pretty difficult handling this dicey situation. It is dicey because should he initiate the process? Should he not initiate the process? What should he do? Erastus Edung ETHAKON should do exactly what Kenyans want. And if Kenyans want these leaders, I'm going to share the list. If the Kenyans want them out, that is what he should do. But Erastus Edung ETHAKON has promised that he's going to do exactly that. So the big question is the timing. Remember, going by the rules, if these members of parliament came into office 2022, somewhere there in September, then it means you cannot recall them the first year. But of course, they have surpassed the first year. In fact, the second year, they are on the 3rd year. Now, you cannot recall them on the last year. So we only have 1 year left for this recall to be initiated and for it to be actualized. Now, the second challenge with this recall is the budget. The story that was published on mainstream media yesterday talked about the budget allocated for a by-election. Now, for the previous election, the budget was around millions, 45 million there. Remember, one member of parliament, 45 million shillings to be spent for a by-election. Now, if there are 5 members of parliament, now we are talking about close to 300 million. Is that, if my math is correct? Because 40 by 5 is around 200 and something. If it's 45 and the number is 5, so we are almost at 300 million to spend on the by-election. Now, that is for 5. But again, Erastus told us that the number is still growing. So if at all Erastus approves 10 members of parliament to be removed, 10 members of parliament, how much do you think that budget is going to be like? That is going to be around 450 million, close to $500 million, to be spent on a by-election. Remember, that expenditure will be spent, that money will be spent on a by-election, but again, 1 year after, there is going to be another election, general election, not the main one. So that's why I'm looking at this recalling exercise, na naona kwamba ni kitu ambayo itaanguka. I won't want it to fall or to fail, because I know the people in Kikuyu constituency wanataka Ichung'wah aende, but I won't want it to fail. But going by the, going by the look of things, the budget na already IEBC imeshatumana budget jingine ambayo imeshtua Wakenya wote billions, then telling it that again we need another billions, another $500 million to be able to sustain the by-election. So I think that is where now the problem is going to come, because now the government might advise IEBC, because the government might decide to sabotage the recalling, because these members of parliament, Amonda Kutolewa, they're the ones who supported the agenda of Ruto. So the big question is, will the treasury now agree to have them removed by submitting a budget, submitting the money that IEBC has budgeted for the by-election? That is a problem, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at that scenario, na naona kwamba hiyo peke yake, the budget part, itafanya hiki kitu isifanyike. But remember, signatures must be collected. They have been collected and the petition has been filed. In fact, for the case of Eric WAMUMBI, unaona wakati ule ambao impeachment ikifanyika kule Nyeri, ilikuwa already hiyo kitu inafanyika, ilikuwa inafanyika kwa haraka sana, having them remove the member of parliament there. Yeye alikuwa ni atoke tu, the MATHIRA member of parliament, Now, ladies and gentlemen, just go below in the comment section and tell us what to think about this story that KTN published about the removal of these members of parliament. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.